Hello, my name is Maria Fernanda, and I'm the host of IOScholarships Superheroes Podcast.
Easy, easy, so easy.
This podcast is only a 10-minute podcast that highlights the best kept secret of IO scholars, job recruiters, and community influencers. And most importantly, we want to provide you financial resources to go to college debt-free and become financially savvy. Today, I have the honor to introduce our guest, Sebastián Rojas. He is a recent graduate from the University of Florida, Warrington College of Business, and his major was in information systems, and he also obtained a minor in economics. After graduation, he's joining Citi as a technology analyst, and actually at the University of Florida, he has served as a career and peer mentor and teaching assistant. Thank you so much, Sebastián, for being part of our podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Well, tell me a little bit more about what inspired you to pursue a career in the FinTech industry.
Yeah, so more in regards to the fintech industry, I've always been interested in the intersection between business and technology, but more specifically within the financial services industry. I think since the pandemic, you've seen the importance of the intersection of technology and financial services. You know, the pandemic really impacted how financial firms and payment platforms view technology per se. I think that companies who are financial services firms who are at the forefront and embrace technology are going to be the ones, the leaders in the future. So I was very interested in that intersection, as well from the consumer point of view as well, seeing how, you know, over time we've banking payment platforms have emerged, have become digital, and I just think it's a very exciting industry.
I agree with you. And as a Latino, what actually were your biggest obstacles to pursue a career in the fintech industry, and how you overcame those obstacles?
Yeah, I would say the biggest obstacle, I've shared this with other students, is half the battle is knowing all the opportunities that are available to you as a Latino student. You know, I came as an immigrant here to the United States with my parents and didn't really know a whole lot, much anything about corporate America. And so having to do a lot of research on my own is can be daunting at times, and often you don't know where to start. So just being aware of all the different opportunities that are available to you, both within your school and outside your universities. Just there's so many different opportunities and ways to get involved to help you reach your professional goals. So I would say that was the biggest hurdle, being aware of so many different options.
Visit IO Scholarships, as we have access to thousands of STEM scholarships based on your unique ethnic background, waiting for you today. Some of them only require 2.5 GPA and no essay. Remember, the more you apply, the more chances you have to win. Apply today. You know, talking about now extracurricular activities, which are your favorite hobbies?
Yeah, so my favorite hobbies outside of school, first is running. In high school, I started running cross country and track, and it's something I've kept up with ever since. I hope to run possibly a marathon, half marathon someday, so that's a long-term goal of mine. Another is weight training, physical exercise. I also played football when I was younger, so at an early age, I got like an introduction to the importance of just like physical exercise, and it's something I've enjoyed doing. And third, cooking. You know, being from Venezuela, eating so many great meals, that's mostly what my main three activities here at home were. But at school, I was very passionate about leadership and mentorship. And I worked as a career and peer mentor, and where I was able to help students in the business school with their resumes, cover letters, LinkedIn profiles. And that was something I was very passionate about. And I hope to continue doing that now that I've graduated in multiple ways.
Sebastian, you really are the innovator of the future. And, students need more role model like you. So which is your biggest mentor?
Yeah, my biggest mentor, mentor slash role model, definitely, I would say my mom. She gave up her life in Venezuela as a lawyer to come here to the United States in pursuit of a better life for not just her, but for me, and more importantly, and just being with her every day and seeing all the values that she's instilled within me and how she lives her day to day is something I've come to appreciate over time. As a kid, at times you may be oblivious to certain things, but now as an adult, I'm so grateful for everything that she's taught me.
And talking about believing in yourself, which tips will you recommend to students who want to apply and win scholarships?
Yeah, I think when it comes to applying and winning scholarships, always have have a plan in mind for every single scholarship. In my experiences, the more I've planned and the more I put towards applying it for a scholarship, the more I got out. So for instance, with the Hispanic Scholarship Fund, it was a pretty rigorous application process, but I knew that going in. So I made sure, okay, I had my short essay written well in advance, proofread, and I made sure to notify my recommender ahead of time, because you definitely don't want to procrastinate on these things. So that would be my advice when it comes to scholarship. And another piece of advice is that when it comes to scholarships, don't be afraid to apply. There's so many scholarship opportunities available, not just for Latino students, but for students everywhere. And a lot of times because there's so many, there may not be as many applicants. So just don't be afraid to apply. But whenever you apply, definitely go all in and make sure you take the time to fill out the applications appropriately.
Very good advice. I always tell students, take this as a actually part-time job, because if you invest 10 hours of your time during a weekend and you win a $10,000 scholarships, that's $1,000 hourly rate, and that's pretty high. So the more you apply, the more chances you have to win. And if you had $100 million to spend, how would you spend that?
Yeah, so if I had $100 million to spend, I would first like to give back, make sure my family is taken care of. So I would dedicate a good portion of that $100 million to making sure that they're able to live the lives they want to. And second, when it comes to paying it back, I would love personally to start a foundation to help mostly high school and college students just develop professionally, because I think from the time you enter high school to the time you finish college, those 8 years are very important. So just having a foundation to help students with professional development opportunities would be great. But in terms of what I would spend $100 million for myself, I would love to travel the world. So a private jet would be nice. And I love living here near the beach, so I would probably look to buy multiple beach houses.
That's a very good plan, especially the one that you talk about mentorship at an early stage. We believe that the earliest that you can expose kids to STEM programs, the better. And the importance of financial education is so key at an early stage. Don't you think, Sebastian?
Yes, definitely. I think you said it great. The earlier you develop these habits, the better it is for long-term, just through long-term success.
Well, I really thank you for being part of our IO Scholarship Podcast. And for everyone who is watching, feel free to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And see you next month for our IO Scholarship Superhero Podcast. And remember the power of the 3 I's for inspiration, innovation, and invention. Thank you, Sebastián.
Thank you for having me.